what's up you guys? Welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and in today's video I'm going to be telling some college roommate horror stories. Now, these are not my stories. I found them online, and if you guys are interested in reading more about them, the links to where I found these stories will be in the description box below. So if you guys are interested, keep on watching. Okay, so the way this is gonna work is I'm going to read the story, and I'm probably gonna put like a picture of it up in the corner or something so you guys can read along if you want. And then afterwards, I'm just gonna give like a little bit of my opinion on it. So yeah. All right, so I'm reading these stories off of my computer, so I'm gonna be looking downwards as I read. All right. The title of this story is called The Emergency Flutter. One of my roommates was notoriously late on projects. So, why would I expect final projects to be any different? I was already in bed, trying to get a decent rest so I'd be prepared for my 8 a.m. art history final, when my roommate busts in saying, "We need to move everything important because she had to flood the room." She was completely serious. She was going to flood the room so it would ruin her far too behind project. Call the RA and get a note saying she needed an extension on her project due to unforeseen circumstances. But she said we should only move important stuff. If everything of ours went undamaged, it would look suspicious to the RA. Thankfully, my other roommate and I talked her out of it, but if we hadn't been there, I truly believe she would have just gone ahead and done it. All right, so now for my opinion on this story. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. If you know you are a procrastinator, like, why not create a time schedule or plan stuff out effectively, especially if it's a final project in college? Like, obviously this is probably not as much of like a roommate horror story as it is just like a what the heck type situation that happened in college. But honestly, I mean, if I was not in my room and I came back and it was flooded because my roommate didn't do her project on time, I would be very upset. And so yeah, her roommate is a little off if she thought that flooding a room, so destroying more than 50% of all of her items for a grade to get an extension that she's probably gonna procrastinate on anyways, that's, yeah, crazy, ridiculous. Okay, so this story is a lot shorter, but it's ridiculous. It's called The Butter Knife Butcher. I had a roommate once who for some reason hated me. One morning, around 3 a.m., I found her standing over me with a butter knife. She had broken into my locked room and then was just staring at me. It freaked me out. I told her she was crazy. A few hours later, on my way to class, she stood at our front door yelling, "I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy." Yeah, sure, whatever you say. Okay, so if this were to happen to me, I would be scared out of my mind, because if you're standing over my bed with a form of a knife, even if it's a butter knife, like, you must have some intent or thought process going on in your head in which you want to hurt me. For what reason? I don't know. But that's absolutely ridiculous, and I feel like if that was reported, she would get kicked out the school, because that's not normal. That's a threat, basically. All right, so the next story is called The Power Vomiter. My freshman roommate's bed was lofted across the room from my bed that was lower. Right before I was about to fall asleep, she sat up in bed, turned toward me, and projectile vomited from her bed onto mine where I was lying down. She then puked half into the trash can and half on our carpeted floor for the next 2 days and never cleaned it up. This was following months of foul smelling drifting from her closet of dirty clothes that she never washed and sleeping on a sheetless bed for most of the year. So, sorry for my chair squeaking. But anyway, I see multiple issues within this one story. For one, if you're about to throw up, right? You sit up. Obviously, you have that feeling that you're going to throw up. Why would you then turn and face towards somebody else and basically throw up all over them? That is absolutely disgusting. And I mean, if you're gonna vomit, right, and get it on the floor, it's your throw up. Maybe, I don't know, if you don't want to do it that night because you feel bad, there is no reason why you should not be the person to then clean that up as soon as possible. That's common courtesy, maybe. You're sharing a room with someone else. Also, why are you not washing your dirty clothes? If you leave your clothes and just sitting there for a long time, it's gonna build up an odor and it's gonna smell bad. Like, it's just another thing of common courtesy. Like, it's not just your room. You have to be sanitary, at least a little. Like, ew. All right, next story. Freshman year, my random roommate appeared to be chill. We were on good terms, but not best friends. One day, I got a Chase notification that my account balance was negative $20 and the money was taken out of my dorm's ATM. I freaked because my parents had just put a $300 allowance in there and had books to buy. I got back to the dorm and checked my wallet, but my debit card was there, so nothing seemed wrong. I called everyone on my floor to a meeting asking if anyone had taken my money. No one fessed up, so I got really heated and called the cops. The cops told me that they needed to roll back the tape on the dorm's ATM camera. But out of nowhere, my roommate comes and confesses. I was so shocked. I had her kicked out of my room, but I didn't press charges for identity theft or anything. But seriously, how did she know my PIN number? Oh, and the craziest part is, when the cops came, she came down wearing my LL Bean raincoat. So in conclusion, her roommate was a thief. Now, I personally believe that if you are obtaining someone else's PIN number and they're not telling you it, that means whatever you had planned going on to steal the money was premeditated, because that means you were intently watching your roommate to get information from them that was none of your business to begin with. And I mean, I would feel violated in so many different ways because, one, you come down the steps wearing my jacket that I paid for, and then on top of that, stole my money. And when I asked the first time, you didn't want to confess, and only until the cops came was it that you had something to say. See, that's absolutely ridiculous to me. And the girl who told this story is extremely nice for not pressing charges, because you better believe I would have. And now we are on story number 5. My sister's freshman year of college, she roomed with a really shy girl who kept to herself and was just sort of odd. After a couple of months, my sister noticed that their room started to have a weird smell. She tried to drop hints at her roommate, but she didn't seem to notice. So my sister and her friends decided to investigate while her roommate was in class. They looked through the whole room and then finally looked through the roommate's desk. They opened the bottom drawer to find that it was completely full of used, old, bloody tampons and pads. My sister moved out shortly after that. I have no words because that is so foul. You collected all of, I'm assuming, your own dirty pads and tampons, did not throw them out. No. You chose to take those and then put it in a drawer. A drawer in which was in a room that was shared with somebody else. And you're telling me that with your pads and your tampons in that drawer, you didn't smell it? I feel like if you're a girl, okay, if you're a guy, this may be TMI. If you have a pad or a tampon for too long and just one day, you already, like, you start to smell like it's disgusting. Like, you have to change constantly, one at risk of infection and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, that is disgusting. She should have thrown those out. I don't know what was wrong in her mind for her to think that that was okay, but that's a no from me. If you made it this far in this video to hear the last story, bless your soul. All right, last story, here we go. I was in a random triple my freshman year of college, and one girl in particular was a nightmare to live with. She was incredibly mean to me. After a rocky first semester of spreading rumors and backhanded comments, we ended up pledging the same sorority together second semester. Throughout the entire pledge process, she was determined to make my life difficult, bullying me every chance she got. She would quickly throw me under the bus every time something bad happened and would often spread lies about me to the other girls. But to everyone else, she was a dear who would shower you with compliments and buy your friendship. But the most messed up thing she did was tell my boyfriend at the time that I cheated on him, which was false. That night, that rumor was spread among our sorority sisters and was shut down fast, exposing her true colors. I reported her to the RA and made her move out 2 weeks before the semester ended. Sadly, I still had to see her face throughout sorority events. So like I have said before, I see multiple issues within this one story. One, I feel like you should not try to get yourself involved with anyone else's relationship in most situations, because nine times out of 10 you're gonna make something worse. Now, walking around and telling lies saying that one person in a relationship cheated on the other, now that's like a whole nother like ballpark of just evil. Like, what are you doing that for? You must be that jealous of that relationship to go ahead and try to ruin it. And next, what are you going around bullying people for? Because I feel like if you are bullying someone else, obviously you must have self-esteem issues. So at the end of the day, her roommate was probably just jealous of her because she was just out to get her for no reason, and that's that on that. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you did, please like let me know, because I would love to create more videos like this because it was so like interesting and fun for me. And also, I'm so close to 100 subscribers, so if you could just go ahead and subscribe and like and comment and stuff, that would be lovely. Have a nice day.